I got a new exit video planned today. I'm gonna do a new intro video coming for next week. I'm gonna be just a short clip of episode right now.
Welcome to Leap Sales with Ian Nethercott and Larry Feldman live.
How do you adventure? Is it fast? Is it free? Is it clear? Is it rugged? Is it remote? For your next adventure, trust MotoClothes for buying, selling, trading, and protecting all of your motorized assets.
All righty. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. I just wanted to share something. I was talking to Bill Camastro in Gold Coast Cadillac, and we were talking a little bit about Mary Barra and electric cars. He's one of the top Cadillac dealers in the United States. Guess how many new cars he sold last month, Larry?
Knowing Bill Camastro,
Yeah.
275.
No, he sold 30 Cadillacs.
That's what I was heading at 50.
That's slightly less than 275.
And there's
I was trying to get Bill pumped up.
There's another Cadillac dealer in his market. Guess how many they sold?
Well, if he sold 30, then it's 21.
10. So I said to him, I said, okay, so do you guys trade in your Cadillac franchise for a Mitsubishi franchise? And he said, no, they gave us these electric cars and they hope people would buy them.
Poor people.
The lesson was prohibition. You can't legislate morality. You can suggest to people, you can give options to people, but you can't mandate what people can and can't do in a free country. And when you based it upon a ridiculous presumption that we're going to go electric, we can go electric, and it's going to be a good thing. And you all know where the most electric vehicles are and are sold is California, which is a grid that already doesn't work. They've got brownouts all the time. So it just the whole premise made
Irvine is only 10 miles away from me, and all you see is 80% Teslas in the city of Irvine.
Well, I have another news story for you. You know who's losing her job at General Motors?
You're not.
The CEO. She just cashed in $25 million in General Motors stock.
There you go.
Rhonda, I would like to follow that lead and quit and cash in all my career changes. How close could I get to 25 million?
Pennies, very close.
Russell, I got to use you to negotiate next time I quit. I'm just not getting a big cash out that the GM.
Well,
penny stocks.
Yeah.
Penny stocks, yeah.
yeah.
Supposedly she was making $12 million in salary, but the 25 mil was a nice like golden parachute bonus.
Yeah.
Well, as long as they're not in pink sheet.
Yeah, well, you know.
Penny stocks are good as long as they're not on pink sheet.
Ian, you know what I tell the dealers? You don't pay me to come, you pay me to leave. That's how I get the big check at the end. Get out, Feldman.
But to add insult to injury, the rumor is someone they used to work for Tesla is going to be the new CEO of General Motors.
That's funny.
Going from bad to worse, huh?
Well, hold on for a second. While I don't endorse electric cars as a mandate, certainly the choice, but let's not forget how quickly he got a corporate value higher than General Motors. So while I don't want to drive a Tesla, while I don't endorse every car has to be electric, what a hell of a job Musk did with self-promotion and to do it. I mean, you know, the idea of adding a car, DeLorean tried it. Many smart, accomplished people have tried it and have gone nowhere. But to bring a car like that and to bring that kind of valuation, it really boggles the mind. And then look what he did with the space program. So I don't have a problem with Musk. I just wonder if the people in California were tempted to deface their own cars. Because once they loved Musk and they hung with Trump, they hated him.
But you know, the other number that was up, as opposed to down, that was announced today.
Wow.
Auctions had a record year last year.
Yes, sir. Just send an article to Rhonda and Larry.
Jeff, you jumped in a little bit late. Ian informed us that the CEO cashed in like $25 million and is out. Not Mary Bear, the
Mary
the other
Bear.
one.
Mary Bear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I got to tell you though, I've said it before. I'm really optimistic with 2026.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a lot of positive trends. I think we're going to see a lot of good things. And I believe our top. And by the way, thank you all for joining us. You know how much we appreciate you. I think our topic today was, if cars are $50,000, how do you sell them?
Yep, 100%.
How much down? How much a month?
Well, but the problem is you reach a certain point. We used to all laugh, right? Everybody on the show is about the same age. And we used to all laugh when a guy used to look at a $60,000 vehicle and he wanted to be at $200 a month. Our response was, let me see if I can get you a 30-year mortgage. Okay?
I used to say once $200 a week. You can do it.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
You know, I caught the last end of Tesla,
Yeah.
but funny thing, it's like we have a friend and they're saving to buy a new Tesla. And I go, why in God's name would you buy a new one?
Yeah.
You know, you can buy a 1-year-old one for half price.
Yeah.
The only part of the market, I think we all agree that's going to be unbelievably robust is used EVs.
100%.
That I think is going to be strong. Hey, Christian joined us too. Why don't we do this week? Why don't we reverse the order where we usually go? Why don't we hear from Jeff and Christian and Russell first with any suggestions or thoughts about the best way to approach people to sell a $50,000 vehicle? Jeff, you're already on. You're surrounded by cool wheels. Would you like to start, my good, great friend?
Oh man, and Ian, you probably have the correct stat for this, but I think the average car payment is something like $765 now or something.
Yes.
So, you know, that $350, $400 a month is kind of laughable at this point. But people are still coming in the store thinking that, right? Because they haven't bought a car in 20 years because of COVID and all the other things we know about. So they're kind of still stuck in this mindset. Wow, I can't make a car payment that's as much as my mortgage payment. Well, you're going to have to, man. It's a new world today.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you do that, and same thing, average cars are that. So you're going to have a $700 a month payment. Maybe start with that.
Well, I was at a Ford store in Vancouver last week. They had a platinum F-150, big boy truck in the showroom, over $100,000 truck. I said, what's a lease payment? He goes, $1,600 a month for a lease.
No way.
Yep, $1,600 a month. I said, so let me guess, you have a lot of stock. And he goes, how did you know? I said, well, what's selling? He goes, oh, we got this Ford Maverick truck that's $26,000 and we can't keep them in stock.
Right.
Well, in the funny part too about that payment, I've got friends that get a car allowance of $800 a month.
Yeah.
That used to be a lot.
Yeah.
You could get a nice ass car for $800 a month.
Yeah.
Well, now,
it's called inflation.
Yeah.
And I unfortunately I was too young. I missed it. But in 1969, the Rolling Stones maybe played the greatest rock and roll tour in history. Their opening act was B.B. King in his prime and Ike and Tina Turner in their prime. And the papers in San Francisco, a guy named Ralph Gleason, who was a leading journalist, said, how can these people come here and rip us off and charge $6.50?
Wow.
It's inflation. I think the difference here is, and I've said it before, nothing genius about it. I just think it's the only way out. They're going to have to come up with strong leases that even if it's pain, it's short-term pain. Because some of these people are so buried, not only the inequity, but the length of the term. If we don't break the cycle of how long people are waiting to buy a new car and burden with the upside down, I don't think there's a way out. And you all know the deal with leasing, that they decided, wait a minute, I can sell dealers cars every 2 or 3 years instead of every 5 or 6 years. So it's not like there's no money to be made there. And if they don't take a stand with that, we could be mired. I mean, I think the economy is going to be good this year. I think we're going to see a lot of positive trends. But at some point, there has to be some kind of tweak in the overall numbers and the escape route for these people that are buried in big payments.
Well, I saw a car for you. I saw a car for you, Larry. It was in a Porsche deal. They had a Porsche 911 air cooled from 1978. They only wanted $254,000 for it.
You know, when I was a teenager, I smoked cigarettes because you did.
Yeah.
And I remember I used to go to the Clark gas station and they were 35 cents a pack. Well, I don't think I can afford to smoke even today, you know, with a decent income. I don't know. Things have changed, man.
Yeah, gas was a quarter.
Yeah.
So Russell, obviously on the service side, that means there's a big service opportunity. What are you hearing from dealers on the service side if people are keeping cars 6, 8, 10 years?
Actually, it's 14.
Okay, sorry. I'm wrong.
No, I digress. You know what? We just celebrated our 6th year on January 7th. And that was that our very first store went live on that day in 2020, and they're still on today. It's been an amazing ride. The infrastructure has been laid. You know, I have this philosophy that successful people do daily what average people do occasionally. So I'm burning the candles. I mean, being on here, Clubhouse, all of you know, I mean, early in the morning, all things fixed stops, all things used cars when I can, and many other types of meetings. And there's some really tremendous things fixing to happen and big announcements. And I'm going to be able to probably by the end of the second quarter, start scaling back a little bit and separate myself from all this, because the foundation has been built. Now, the relationship stuff is still going to continue, but where I'm going with all of this is I believe starting actually in 2025, but between now and 2032, that it will be the biggest time historically for fixed operations. People are starting that they're going to get their heads around it. They're going to understand data is the new currency, and they don't have data from their websites in service and parts. None. They can tell you
call that data.
Oh, data?
Yeah.
Ian might say it that.
Yeah, Data, like in Star Trek, Data, like that robot guy. And Ben Stock did a post about that today. I need my data.
I'm messing with my ADHD. Now
Go ahead.
I've lost
Go ahead.
track of where I was going. No,
Data.
not at all. So
Data or data, check
So-
stops.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's happening. I've changed just about everything in my pitch. I'll give you a good example. So everybody's talking about AI and data, right? Right? Okay, I get people, right. Everybody's talking about that. So even when I talk to general managers and dealer principals or fixed ops directors, not so much service managers, but even some of them are really in the know and savvy. But here's the thing. When they show up or with my team and they see fixed ops marketing, keep in mind that as of this moment, everything we've ever seen, heard, read, and done is in our head. So nobody I've asked, I don't even ask anymore, what did you think you were showing up to see today? Okay. They had no idea. They missed the mark so far. It's like snail mail, email marketing, maybe some coupon stuff. No. I don't even, some of you seen that. I don't even talk about that anymore. Here's what I say. Dealerships are leaking thousands to tens of thousands of dollars from their website, and they don't even know who those customers are.
100%.
Almost 30% of people that show up every day nationally are looking for service-related content. Here's what you have. Nothing. Under construction, check back later. Static images serve no purpose, no value. You don't have the third one, which is the most common one. There's certainly not much content, and they have no education associated with it. And I still see scissors cutting out a dotted line. Are you kidding me? We're in the 21st century. Imagine just for a moment with just imagine, think of the power of that word and what kind of picture it paints. Imagine just for a moment with one simple change, all that's alleviated. See, that's unacceptable on the variable side. You know who all those people are. Okay. You know them all. No dealer has ever, nobody's ever disputed that in thousands of presentations. What they said was, well, we know how many people came and how long they were there, but you still don't know who they are.
Right.
You still don't know who they are. If data is the new currency, trade in, trade up, and the future of AI and where it's going, which we talked about, you even agreed, everybody's talking about data. Yeah, it's been a novelty. I got this thing from ChatGPT there. I was the first 3% of people to sign up and start interacting with it. You know, the last 2 years, it's been a novelty, people having fun. Let's face it, every day people are talking about it. I don't care if it's on the news, on shows, you know, in our space, everybody's talking about it. The novelty part is starting to fade. Now we're getting into the utility part. People are starting to use it. Let me give you another case in point. You asked the question. So I think maybe I just digressed and went, well, so everybody we have 42 employees, every one of them have a chat account, right? And so about 5-6 months ago, Rick and I, my business partner, we were having a staff meeting with everybody, which we have once a month, long story, but we're having this meeting. We asked a couple of questions and multiple people are smart. Well, let me put it in chat and see what chat says. Okay. And okay. Yeah. Okay. A lot of people do that. And I hear it in the morning sometimes and all things card biz. Okay. But we had the second meeting we had, we said, hey, let's not neglect the creativity you have. You can use it to bounce stuff off and gather information, but don't go to that as the end all be all, because most of the time it's actually wrong. Okay. So do your research. Let's don't stifle the creativity. And I don't know, did that even answer? Anyway, so bottom line is it's a tremendous utility. And that's what we're going from novelty to utility. People are starting to use it, engage with it in a practical way. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do, Russell. But what's interesting is I'm touring dealerships in Florida. I'm helping get people, and you know, it's really weird. There's certain things that you would figure by now we would have figured out. You love to say, man, we could have had these same discussions in 1940 and 1980. But I ask really nice people, not bad people and not dumb people, are you all doing mandatory service walks when you're showing a car? And I'm getting very, very few people that do it. Now, if you guys know I'm an anti-script guy, but what would be wrong with making it mandatory to say, hey, by the way, let me show you our service department. It's really cool back here because not only are our prices really good, just like any place you go for an oil change or tire, but you don't risk having any gap in your warranty or a problem because you're using factory parts.
You see, it's people like us that are, a lot of us we see in other rooms, we're engaged with each other. A lot of us have met, some of us haven't met yet. We exchange and toss ideas. We have healthy debates. We can agree to disagree and all those things, but we listen to each other. We absorb every day. Even I'm fixing to turn 67. It's like I get to wake up every day and listen to people like you. It's amazing. And yet I take my wife's Ford Explorer Friday at 4:00 into the Ford store. There's about 7 or 8 people in there, 4 or 5 advisors, a couple of cashiers, and somebody else mowing around. We walk in, nobody says a fucking word. Pardon my friend. Nobody says a word. Nobody said hello or anything. Nobody even we stood there for about 20 seconds and I finally turned to some guy who, after getting off the phone, said, yeah, what's up? Wow.
What's up?
Well,
What's up,
What I'm saying is we need to keep doing what we're doing, throwing it out there, educating, challenging people, and I'm done.
Well, I got another story for you, Russell.
Maybe they're traumatized by the fact that people only show up when there's something wrong with their car. Maybe they need a little bit more positivity. Maybe we should get them one of those medical marijuana cards.
Oh yeah. Well, I was in one of the largest General Motors stores in Vancouver. They've been in business since 1928. The showroom is literally 200,000 square feet for new cars, and they have 300 used cars in a separate garage next door. I'm in the showroom. There's no customers anywhere. It's got to be $50,000 to $75,000 a month just to keep the lights on. I walk in. I'm talking to the sales manager. Go, oh, I got a customer. I said, dude, there's no customers in the showroom. Oh, they're remote. I'm like, really?
What does that mean?
They're remote. What are you people doing? Like, what is going on here? And then up in the executive suite office, they're having a drag out fight about how they're going to fix the problem. And I'm going, yeah, you got a much bigger problem than no customers. How are you going to crack this nut next month?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And before, when Russell's done it, before we jump to Christian, who's an infrequent guest and we love seeing him.
Yeah.
I did, Christian, and it's to the point where I'm becoming a cliche myself. I always tell new people in the business that the analogy is not football or basketball, it's baseball. You want to hit 350 because you'll make a lot of money, but if you prospect some months, you'll hit 700 because we all know the close is so strong. But think about it. Think about the insanity and the self-destructive behavior of refusing to prospect because you're waiting for a stranger to come in with an ad in his hand. I don't get it. Christian, it's good to see you. Tell us your thoughts on $50,000 vehicles. Tell us every service manager should have the phone number for the suicide prevention hotline if they're going to open up with what's up. Although you weren't on the show, Christian, tonight, we literally, it wasn't AI, literally, Russell's head exploded and Gary Silman had to glue it together with Elmer's glue because he took his Genesis in and the guy said, you have an appointment. Not welcome to the store, not it's so nice to see you. Let me ask you a question, and I'll keep the language good, Ron, but I don't want to hit the swear jar. Did these guys ever get laid? Do they know how to speak to anybody in any manner where you're not being offensive? I don't get it.
Larry,
Christian, what are your thoughts? Oh,
Larry, put the Thin Mints away. I don't want to look at them.
Listen. Here's how simple my life is. Okay. I only been married once, and when I got married, they took bets at the dealership whether it was going to last 3 months, 6 months, or 9 months. I'm still married. Okay. I've had the same band for 40 years. We're not famous yet, but we're getting there. More songs and movies, more money coming in.
There you go.
I enjoy simple pleasures because I know one day my crazy ass will be dead. And you'll like this, Russell. I interviewed 45 people. I'm going to get about 15 hired. They're going to bring me back to train. And I was hungry. Christian and David Rosick, you don't know this yet. Paul Meyer has nothing on me. I am a gourmet eater. So I found the nearest Five Guys. I ate my burger. I drank my Coke. And I see a young girl and her mother setting up a table.
Wow.
It was the first people selling Girl Scout cookies. How much better can you do to make a ton of money at a dealership? And then you get a burger from Five Guys, a Coke, and Thin Mints. So Robbie can bust my chops all she wants. I appreciate the simple pleasures. All right, Christian, it's your turn. Either say something salient or break into your Frank Sinatra medley because we love that.
Why can't we hear him?
I don't know.
Why can't he hear us?
Christian, your wife is going to be very satisfied. Apparently, you've been muted permanently. Can you do like sign language? And don't put up your middle finger. We're not at that point in the stage yet.
you're on mute. You're on mute. No,
All right, we're going to get back to Christian as soon as
Jason Reed's on, David Rosek's on, and of course we got Larkin.
David, by the way, everybody knows how fabulous David Rosick is with all his stuff. The guy
extremely talented.
He's been helping me. He's been working with me. Man, is he an asset, and man, is he fun to talk to. So, David, tell us what your thoughts are on selling $50,000 cars. Tell us your thoughts on the insanity, right? The definition, the Einstein definition, doing the same thing, expecting a different result. That service doesn't realize people are annuities, not annoyances. And if there's any way you can unmute Christian, he's just getting warmed up, let us know. David?
So, I mean, I'm sorry, I was talking to Wendy. So as you guys were talking, I was kind of hanging up on Wendy.
What did you find out? What the heck is she doing?
That's what I told her. I said, "Where are you at? Quit talking to me about being upset." So, but that being said, you know, I don't know. I mean, 50,000-hour cars, 35,000-hour cars, 100,000-hour cars. I think it's all perception and be able to fit it in people's budgets and finding a way. But obviously, we as car dealers, we don't know a consumer's budget and their needs and wants. I mean, I remember having a customer walking in, and I'm probably dating myself, but they walked in for an Oldsmobile Silhouette van. And I understand.
Hold on. Rhonda didn't jump into the car business, so she worked with me. Rhonda, Cadillac and Oldsmobile were rocking and rolling. Cadillac, I'll be real quick, David, had the worst set of design engineers in the history of the car business. They smoked crack, and they decided to come up with the 4100. Every motor was bad. The first state, the diesel, and the 6. And then they came out with the North Star, and all of a sudden it was good, and they thought we were going to get the North Star and the Cadillac, and they gave it to the Oldsmobile and the Silhouette. Boy, would I have loved to have been in that board. Rhonda doesn't know that story. Go ahead, Dave.
So the Oldsmobile Silhouette was kind of an ugly space shuttle looking van. But I had an older couple that walked in and they said, "Hey, we're looking for a minivan." They really liked it. They liked the modular seating. They liked the whole idea of the composite panels. I mean, they knew the vehicle more than I did. But we walked by a Toronado, and the husband says, "Oh, I've always wanted to sit in one of these." So I have him sit inside the car.
Yeah.
And then I started talking to him. I noticed I got a couple quick yeses out of him, and he really liked it. And I said, "Well, hey, you know what? I understand you guys came in from Amazon. Let's go drive the Toronado." I said, "I have a brass hat that I just had at a golf outing, and it's an unbelievable."
Hold on, I'm translating again for Rhonda. That was the factory reps demos. We loved them because we had a ton of headroom on them, and we could make a fortune on them.
Yep. So I just got done leaving this golf outing. I drove the vehicle back from the golf outing. And I'm telling this guy about this. He gets in it, and it's a beautiful blue Toronado Trofeo. He just loves the car. Well, the wife, after driving it, sees one next to it that's red, and that's her favorite color. So she goes, "Well, I really like that one." So he's like, "Okay." I said, "Well, why don't we drive that one?" So I get back and I ask him, I said, "So which one do you like, the red one or the blue one?" And the wife goes, "Well, I don't give a shit about what he's buying, but I'm buying this car." So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, these are like 30-some $1,000 cars. And this couple came in here for a minivan, and they had an appointment. And I just said, "Okay, well, let's just go inside and we'll get them set up so you guys can take them both home. Am I titling them both in both names or what?" And I was joking. And she goes, No. My car goes in my name. His car goes in his name. It's okay. And she goes, "Is it okay though? You'll take a personal check?" And I said, "As long as it's good." And she goes, "Well, I can go down the street to the bank to get your cashier check." I said, "Let's go inside. Let's get the paperwork done and I'll get it wrapped up for you." So, here's a situation where I did everything in my mind to want to sell them that minivan. But for some reason, they gravitated to this Toronado. And then they bought 2 of them. And I looked at him in his khakis and his flannel shirt and his Kmart gym shoes. And I'm sitting there going, "This motherfucker can't buy shit." Okay? And lo and behold, he sold his company. The guy was a multimillionaire.
There you go.
Okay, that didn't stop his kids from calling me the next week bitching at me that I sold their parents 2 Tornados and they didn't need it. But then after talking to them, and they start telling me how they love Hondas, and I said, at Napleton, we have a Honda store. You really should take a look. They have a great selection right now. And they're like, "Oh, really?" And I turned it into a sale, even though they called me to bitch me out. And they've been my customer now, this family. I mean, the parents have been passed away for years, God bless their soul. But the kids and their kids have been my customers now for 30-some years.
That's a great story.
So
Hey, Dave, hold on. You triggered a memory. And then when you're done, let's get my boy Jason Reed in and see if Christian unmuted. Years and years ago, I'm selling an elderly couple. Sounds like you're a couple.
Yep.
A car. And as you all know, I am mentally unstable and tend to say crazy stuff and somehow survive it. So the guy says, "It's very expensive, and I was thinking of leaving the money to my children." Now I'm just having fun. I go, can I ask you a question? Did you earn everything yourself working? I sure did. Don't you think you do your kids a favor to not leave them a penny, make them earn it? Spend your money. And he looked at me and went, I think I will.
There you go. A $35,000 car, a $50,000, $100,000 car, it's all perception. I mean, you know, when I went to go look at used cars for a used vehicle, the type of cars we were finding for a third car, my wife and I, was about $35,000, a good, decent used car. I ended up buying a brand new Kia K4 for $21,000 with a great warranty, and I never thought I'd own a Kia. But for my wife, who drives about 5,000 miles a year for this third car, it was an excellent choice.
Mhm.
And all she cared about was Apple CarPlay. So I don't have a problem with selling a $50,000 car or a $100,000 car. It's just for me identifying what the customer's really needs are and figuring out their budget. I understand what people say about the economy, and they freak out and go, hey man, cars are so expensive. But that never stops me from having a customer tell me what their needs and wants are. And most people that come in for $300 a month still leave at $500 or $600 a month. You know, and they find a way to make that payment. And it happens. And I'm not talking about bus stops. I'm talking about people that have good paying jobs. They have a budget, but then they realize maybe I don't need that $7 Starbucks coffee 3 times a day. You know, and they find a way to make it happen, or they take on the overtime or whatever. So I don't think the economy is as bad as it is. I think sometimes, though, we mentally talk ourselves out of a sale. And then sometimes we just need to give people choices and let them sell themselves. Just shut the hell up. Let the customer sell themselves.
Don't get in the way. I love it.
We just got to guide them. We just got to listen.
Christian, did you figure out a way to unmute?
No, I have not.
Why don't you tell us your thoughts? We got Jason Reed, and
we got Ron Bus too.
If I don't embarrass him, it was his birthday this week. Ron, for anybody who don't know, is the most hands-on owner on the planet Earth. Knows every one of his guys, encourages them, puts up with a lot of nonsense. Happy birthday, my brother. Why don't we hear from Christian and Ron and my boy Jason Reed. Jason, thank you for joining us today.
What happened to Christian?
Christian figured out how to unmute and then blew himself out.
Oh my goodness!
Whatever you do, don't hire him as an assistant AI guy. This could be trouble.
His Hollywood Squares just went boom.
Jason Reed, before Christian completely self-immolates, tell us what your thoughts are, and then let's hear from my boy, Mr. Boss.
You know, I honestly, I kind of agree with David. The economy is not as bad as I think a lot of people make it out to be. Is it tight? Yes. Are cars expensive? Yes. But who made them expensive? We did.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's frozen.
This is what happens when you borrow
There goes Jason.
from Christian. Jason. All right, Ron Boss. You back on? Okay, you're good. You were frozen there for a minute.
Go ahead, Jason.
Okay, so I know that we now have to have blind. We have to have collision detection. We have to have lane keep assist and all those things. Drunk driving assist is what I called it when it first came out. Reality is do we necessarily need to have those things if we are taught perfectly how to drive a car? Maybe not to drive while wasted. How to back up a car using our mirrors the right way. I mean, we can educate people that way. I mean, the Nissan Versa 10 years ago, you could buy it for $9,999, brand new from a Nissan lot. That same car right now today is $17,800 in a manual, and nobody can drive a manual. So what caused it to go up that high? Materials haven't gone up that much. Technology, the amount of tech they have to now pack into those cars, and we all want the flat screens, and we all want the touches and all these things. Like, go back to roll up damn windows for crying out loud. And give me a car.
I love those. I miss those.
Stop me from wrecking it. And
100%.
it was kind of a basic ride. I mean, this price goes out of the economy, but yes, no, you can rent a car in some places, a BMW or Mercedes-Benz for the same price monthly that's still plentiful to some people. And you don't have the credit check at the rental car place. So, I mean, what sense does it make to even buy a car at this point? If you can rent one for the same payment, why bother? Let it be somebody else's car. You don't have to cover insurance on it. They have insurance. I mean, come on. So the economy isn't that bad. We've made it out worse than what it is, but the only people we can blame are ourselves and the governments in which we live in and live under, because nobody really needs all the crap in the cars that comes with it.
Okay, so we've devolved the car business 40 years. Rhonda wants to go back to roll-up windows.
I do.
And apparently a Christian has spontaneously combusted. Ron, you better get in before the whole show dissolves. What are your thoughts, my buddy? Ron has 4 cars on his lot. They're all Chryslers that are $176,000. Our deepest empathy and sympathy, Mr. Boss.
It is what it is. But you know what? I'm listening to you guys, and I got to tell you, depending on how you can gauge the person you're talking to, you know, especially if you get an older guy or somebody not older, but you know, oh God, it's $50,000. I'm like, how much money do you make a year? Like, you know, if you really put in perspective, like several years ago, if you were making $100,000 a year, that was a lot of money. You know, today there's a lot of people that are making that kind of money, and then some. It's like, you know, so that's kind of how I kind of.
Well, wait a minute, Ron. What? You're in the right part of Jersey. I was in Trenton. I used to get people that used to say to me, "Wait a minute, they took my car back and ruined my credit too." To me, a 700 credit score was. She was a 300. We used to glue them together and mail them to the thing.
But I get it. I mean, but now it's like, but the point is that, you know, yes, everything's gone up, but so is everybody's pay. You know, I just talked to a cop today, 6 figures, like almost $200,000 a year. Like,
dang,
yeah. Now he's up there in rank, but like sometimes you think about it, and it's like, man, there's people that's, you know, tearing down some strong income. So, you know. That's my 2 cents. Anyway,
cool. Christian.
Christian's back.
Very quickly,
you hear me?
Right before you disappear. Your thoughts, my friend.
You can hear me now?
We can hear you. We can see you. Better hurry up before somebody pulls the plug.
Before something messes up, yeah. $50,000 vehicles, use contrast. The contrast phenomenon. Anything, if we contrast a $50,000 vehicle against something else that's more expensive, obviously it's going to make the $50,000 vehicle feel less. So what you could do as far as payments are concerned is, you know, obviously the conversation will start at some point with, hey, that vehicle you drove up in there, do you still, do you owe a little bit of money on it? Does the bank still own a little bit of it, or do you have the title? And they tell you the bank still owns a little bit of it. Obviously I have a payment. What kind of payments you making on it? Whatever they tell me, I go, gosh, that's pretty low. And then I'll wait for a reaction. Sometimes they'll say, why do you think it's low? But if they don't, I'll just say, well, the reason why I say it's low is because our sales meeting last week, my manager was telling me that the average payment in the first quarter here was $732 on a vehicle. So, I mean, when you compare it to what you're doing, that's pretty good. And hey, you know, and then if you've got the collateral, I've got these articles here. So I got one here that says, you know, hey, if you think $730 is a lot of money, I've got an article here. Why $1,000 car payments are becoming the normal? The average car payment, record number of people having $1,000 car payment. So we'll use that third-party evidence as well. I've got some salespeople that'll like take these little take these like articles that are from reputable sources, and they'll put them back behind them on a bulletin board. So the customer actually brings up the conversation. Hey, what's that about $1,000 payment back there? And so, anyway, just using contrast, I think, would be one way that possibly you could overcome and put things in a different perspective on a $50,000 vehicle.
100%.
Well thought out point. We often let Michael Larkin go last, and he's such a good guy, and he looks so handsome in that career changes cap. Michael, what are your thoughts, my buddy?
You know, I wore this in honor of you and me not going last tonight. So thank you for noticing. As far as $50,000, how to sell a car, I'm going at it from a different point of view. And anybody that hasn't done this yet, you're behind. So go to Google and type in the word EEAT and see what that says. Okay, it's an acronym for what Google and the rest of the AI searches are currently doing and are going to be focused on searches in the future. So if you don't have that knowledge and that execution of a program or a system, you're going to be invisible. And it doesn't matter how many $50,000 cars you have on your lot, they're going to stay there.
So that's not enough. Say more.
Well,
he wants to know what the acronym means. You threw it out.
No,
go ahead.
Well, I mean, where do you have to use this obviously AI?
EEAT.
What does it equal? What does it mean?
Right.
Break it down.
Sure. EEAT is an acronym that stands for, and I'm going to cheat because I don't get.
I'm glad somebody's looking it up.
I don't get this in order, but right up at the top on Google, it says experience, expertise, authoritiveness, and trustworthiness. How do you get that? You get that in your blogs, your videos, your articles, your content. But it's very, very specific content.
But Mike, you left out one, though. You left out experience.
No, he said that first.
Yeah. Did you say it first?
Expertise, authoritiveness.
I didn't hear the one. You didn't come in on that side for me. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to correct you. I just
That's because he borrowed Christian's microphone.
I did.
That's so it's like what Russell's talking about. You need to explain everything because people just don't know, and you have to really.
No, that's not at all what Russell said.
You have to sell your brand.
What Russell said is you got to be a jackass at this point not to realize the leakage off your website and off your service department will strangle and disequate every profit you make up front. And if people don't realize the manufacturer can choke you with cars or give you no cars, okay? But the one thing that remains, remember, when there was COVID, what did they deem essential? Service. So to not make that the center point, Russell's whole program is to show you ways to get more people into service, to steal the business back from the tire places and the oil change places. Did I say that right there, Mr. Hill?
Russell, you're muted.
Indeed, spot on.
So the bottom line point is using AI to create EI. What's the EI? It's expert intelligence. It's intelligence from the human being, their words, their message getting out into the market, and it creates CI, content.
Wait a minute, Michael. I let you talk and you've turned this thing into Sesame Street on steroids.
Now, see, I thought EI was a lyric from a Nelly song.
No, it's EIEIO.
EIEIO. Exactly.
Jason, I did my analogy. I always say, who's the person to show you how to view your customer? To view your customer so you'll get wealthy. And I always quote Sly of Sly and the Family Stone, who has a great jam called Everybody is a Star, and that we should treat our customers like stars, and if they have bad credit, treat it like superstars. So I got a 22-year-old kid. I love him. I'm getting him hired. Didn't know who Sly was. I get it. Didn't know who Bruce Springsteen was, who's current. And I was afraid to ask him if he knew who the Beatles were. So not only do we want to hold on to our customers, we want to hold on to our culture, because the people that are a little younger than us are like from a different planet, guys. And as I always tell my buddy Gary Silman, young people can do everything on their phone except talk on it.
Right.
let me take that from there. 50,000.
Whoa, you're not gonna do any letter things, are you?
No, the acronyms, I can't, I did my time in corporate. Acronyms there's too many of them.
Yeah.
But I'm learning from Mr. Larkin, and it's always well to hear how, and actually understand how the AI works. But for the topic tonight, $50,000 vehicles, perfect timing for me to talk about what solutions we're bringing to the market to help. And my friend, we had him on our show a few weeks ago, Mike Frazier, and Mike Frazier and his program, Auto PLAI. Look it up. Inside his program, he has 3 distinct programs. One is to now offer payments on a weekly basis, not monthly, weekly. And then we can quote 13 and 14-month payments. So we now have the ability to escalate and pay weekly, which we've all learned that it saves on interest and you build equity in the vehicle. So now we're having to have serious conversations with customers when it's being told that they owe $7,000 more than what the value is of the vehicle. But now you have options. Maybe the manufacturer has a $2,500 rebate. Maybe the customer can come up with a little bit more money. And maybe they're not going to roll $7,000 into a new note and make the next payment and the next deal unaffordable. Now is time to educate the customer. And it starts in the service drive. It starts with having honest conversations in the service drive of what that customer's vehicle is worth, cash to the dealer. Then you need to let the customer know what is needed to be repaired. And if the things that are repaired, now they're eligible for F&I products in the service lane. But now the customer has data. They know what their car's worth. They know how much repair needs to be done. So this is the proving ground in today, is in the service lane. There's active customers coming in. And now with these other tools that are available, we need to start teaching the dealers how to have hard conversations with customers. Maybe it's now not the time to trade in. Maybe they buy a service contract and they keep that vehicle for 3 more years. So solutions are there. It's dealers embracing it and adding it into their why buy here, that they can help customers get out of their situations, or at least have educated conversations to let them know what their cars are worth and what repairs are needed. So first quarter should be a lot of education. We all are sitting here, and there's a lot of bright, a lot of smart people that know how to run dealerships, know how to operate it. We're learning how AI marketing lets the customer get to where it's supposed to be. We're connecting the dots. It's you know, when I see the stuff David Rozek puts up and Mike Larkin and Rhonda and all, I mean, it's amazing. And now savvy dealers that add this stuff to their websites and bring these tools inside are going to win, and they're going to dominate, because if they use the AI tools and they're ahead of the learning curve and they become the local expert, as Mike Larkin talks about, they're going to be rewarded by all of these platforms. And it's not who the biggest or who's spending the most money, is who's the most visible and who's got the most followings, or however you guys, you know, do the tracking. But I've been paying good attention to a lot of smart people. So thank you for educating me on what's going on in the market, because that's where it's all being done now in the social media cloud under the dealer's visibility. And if they're not visible and their stuff doesn't connect, That's why their results are poor and nobody can give them any data because they don't have it. So I land my plane on that. But
Abdul?
Well, first thing, a couple of things, Larry and Rhonda, of course. Now I know why Larry and Gary and Rhonda treated me like a stepchild, because now they got a new toy in David. So what we do here is like, I've been out of this dealership business for the last 7 or 8 years, but we help dealerships sell cars, and that by selling cars, that provides for Gary and Michael and Larry and all of that to do their training and sell their products and everything else. And that's why with our tools, several tools from CarsAIX.com to selling the hard to sell cars, used cars and all of that free upfront cost to beat the competition. But the great thing is that today's article was how dealers are setting up, cars and doing a better job of prepping it at their PDI centers and not sending it to auctions and keeping it for 60 days or 90 days, because those cars are valuable because to meet the payment. Because if you get a 12-year-old Toyota Camry that doesn't got 40 or 50,000 miles on it, that's gold, because then you can sell it, $300 payment that they're looking for 42-month payment or 48-month payment. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things that you see, that when you said that, how do you sell a $50,000 car? And David said very eloquently, that's a matter of perspective, because usually somebody looking for a $50,000 car is making $200,000 a year. Somebody looking for a $20,000 car is making $75,000 or $100,000 a year. So you just matter of fact finding and doing those. But we provide the dealers the tool to sell these cars up there and bring the customer to the dealership, and at a fraction of the cost of our competitors. And that's the magic and the ingenuity of our AI experts at Zamzella and our marketing partners in the East Coast and West Coast, and myself and my son here. And those are the ways that, it's always a find when a customer, you want a customer a one-time or you want a lifetime customer. If you want a 10 or 20-year customer, then you do by right. Always start from lower level, entry level vehicle, and let them bump themselves. I always started them with an F1 at $1,500 F-150 truck, and let them go say, Abdul, I want more. I want this. I want it. Then once they bump themselves up, then that give me the confidence, knowing that okay, they have the financial means to get a $30,000 truck, a $40,000 truck, and now it's a $70,000 and $80,000 truck.
Hey, Abdul,
so those are the things that are here.
Abdul, it also occurs to me, and I think we'll all agree that one of the lost arts we have as salespeople, I don't mean you folks, but that we see, is we've lost the art of building value, of building rapport, of substantiating. David, you would have laughed your butt off. I had a manager in, 2 managers in, and they brought in, on top of the new guys, they brought in some people, and I said, how do you handle it's too expensive? They were nice guys, but their answers, not the managers, the salespeople, were horrible. And I said, mine was always simple. When they would tell me it's too expensive, rather than justify it, I would agree with them. It is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And I understand, because I have trouble keeping a budget myself. And the trigger I always used was, but I bet you work as hard as I do. Because they don't think we work hard. As hard as you, I work 10 times harder than you. Then why don't you deserve something?
But like I said, Larry, if you introduce them with an entry-level vehicle first, or entry-level truck first, and let them bump themselves to an SLT or XLT model and all of that, that gives them the thing that when it comes to the affordability range or a payment range, then say, Mr. Client, let's look at the one that we first looked at.
But Abdul, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's $1 million vehicle or a bicycle. It always comes back to selling yourself, selling the car, selling the dealership.
Absolutely.
And building enough rapport so you can look him in the eye and say, right, we all know what's one of the great words. Is that your best deal? Absolutely. Shut your mouth and watch him raise himself. But that doesn't come across if you don't have any credibility. If you haven't built some kind of trust up or where they believe in you, where are you?
So do we get Jason Reed in? Do we get Jason Reed in, Larry?
We most certainly did. Don't you remember?
Okay.
He made some salient points in between his microphone going a little bit.
Oh, okay. We're almost out of time. We got 6 minutes, so we got time for some final thoughts.
But Jeff Shearer, you started us, but any thoughts? And by the way, everybody, including Abdul, everybody on this damn program has such exciting things coming up. Jeff,
I'm still waiting to hear from you, Larry. I'm still hearing to hear from you, Larry, my man.
Brother, I'm working on it, man. I'm getting pulled in every direction. And understand something, Abdul, so we're real clear. Here's how I got rich, okay? I answer my phone and I write stuff down. I don't know how these dealers make a living because you can't get anybody to answer the phone. You could call them up and say, I want to buy 42 cars. I hit the lottery. And they don't answer. But Jeff has an AI product. He asked me to call it twice. Between him and Mike Larkin, these don't even sound like AI. They sound like you're talking to real people. And that's encouraging because I think we're all a little bit discouraged when we think we're in a discussion with a human and then it turns out that they're not really a human. Jeff, Mike, I love both your models. Obviously, you've used me a little bit as a guinea pig. Any thoughts, Jeff? Any thoughts, Michael, on where you see things are going? And obviously, we appreciate every darn one of you being in here tonight.
Well,
Go,
Mike,
Jeff.
go ahead.
Okay. You've got to use and monetize the interviews that Larry's experienced and Gary and some others, that it's going to ask you questions about your expertise and that gains those categories off your website. So if you're not an expert on categories on your website, what are we doing?
Wait a minute, Michael. I had a little problem with this last week because I made the mistake of doing it on speakerphone and it asked me what I was an expert on, and my wife was in the kitchen and she said nothing. The whole call clipped off after that.
Now that the automation part of this is as soon as you hang up the phone, it's doing 2 articles. And I noticed that your article was nothing about nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
But was that a quote? Or now I'm finding out it's your wife's quote.
That's it.
Has everybody noticed Larkin is getting funnier as he gets older, and I'm getting more serious? It's one of them Abbott Costello things where the brains got switched.
I'm right here in between, Larry. I'm just right here for you in between, whenever and anytime you need us.
So
Brother, I need you all the time, and with that shirt, the school may need you to be a crossing guard. You've got that big pink stripe over your shirt.
Oh yeah, this is 78 degrees today in beautiful Laguna Hills.
If you say 78 degrees one more time, Rhonda's going to stab you in the eye with a pencil. She's already mad at me that I'm in Florida.
I'm sorry. It's been 70s all week long, so we're looking forward to it.
Jeff Shearer.
One of the pieces
What are you thinking? His AI thing was incredibly lifelike.
Yeah. So one of the, and I'm going to share it with you guys before NADA. We're just putting the final polish on it, but one of the pieces is a training bot where you do interactive conversations, and it's built custom for dealers with their product and their processes. And we were running some simulations this morning, and it told us that out of the 60 agents that we had at this client that we're testing, he goes, these guys aren't ready. Don't let them on the phones yet. We're like, whoa, because these guys are ready. These guys aren't ready. These guys need 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So that was pretty amazing because we didn't even ask the AI for this. It just said, I said, run the simulation, and that's what it came back with. It said, don't let these guys on the phone yet.
Wow.
Hey, Jeff, there's a rumor floating around that you're going to tie in a training program with a short but handsome car dealer, now trainer from Philadelphia named Feldman. Are those rumors going to substantiate or what?
It's going to be magnificent. Even a guy like Larry that epitomizes the pencil.
Yeah.
Okay. We're bringing, kicking and dragging between Mike and me, man, into the into the AI world.
I tried your program. It's fun.
Jeff, is it a learning management? Is it a learning management system?
Well, there's actually two pieces to it. The first one is you call up and you do an inbound or outbound call simulation
Okay.
about what your customer conversations would be. And we throw different scenarios in there. And then at the end of it, the bot gives feedback. Okay, Mike, here's 2 things that you did really good. Here's 1 thing we need to work on for next time.
So it's for each position in the dealership?
Correct.
We should definitely connect, Jeff. Jeff, we did
Sales and service. Yeah.
Jeff, we did a show on Monday on AI on the Auto Hub show, and we had a gentleman on there. I'll connect you with them. So reach out to me tomorrow.
Great. And then the second one we call our couch guy, because it's really like a psychiatrist. It says, hey, Mike, based on your profile here, I know you've been with the company for 3 years, and it looks like I'm going to pull up your file, is what it says. And it says, based on what I'm looking at, you seem to struggle with giving prices or, qualifying. What do you think you're having a harder time with this week? Well, giving prices. Okay, let's park that for a moment. And it gives this analysis. It says, here's your new mantra. You're not selling price, you're selling safety, right?
It's
Practice
coaching.
that with me now, Mike.
It's
Say this,
Hey, Ian, in a
I love it.
momentous moment in AI, Jeff put me on the phone with his psychiatrist. And
Yeah.
it's the first time an AI has developed a drinking problem.
We are out of time, just so you know. It's that time.
Guys, thank you. We appreciate
Thank you all
Jeff.
very much.
And we're speaking closer and closer to NADA. Can't wait to see you guys. We're gonna do. Oh, let me just mention this real quick.
Yeah.
We have a guy. You all know him. You all love him. Maybe the biggest gentleman in our industry, Earl Sticks Brown. And when we were in New Orleans, and Peter was still with us, Ian hadn't made the jump. We did a podcast of Lethal Sales at his booth. It was fabulous. So he invited us back. So we will be doing Lethal Sales at Earl Sticks Brown's booth. It's just, if you guys don't know him, you're missing something. And his wife's nicer than him. So we'll see you all at NADA. We appreciate the hell out of you. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all very
Everybody.
much. Good evening.
Thank you for helping the industry get better today live.
The Big Idea podcast with Sticks too, because you